Hello everyone. Happy Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Whatever day it is for you. I have to get my glasses. I always forget that I can't read the comments. So we need glasses. Thank God for glasses. Hello, Texas. Good morning, everyone. Oh, my Lord. Hi, Paula. Hi, Elise. Hi, Peach Boss. Palladian Goddess Love. Wow. So I wanted to jump on. I don't have too much time, but this was a really strong feeling I got that I wanted to share with you, whoever needs to hear it. So I'm just going to start while people start joining. There's this word around what we're experiencing today, tomorrow, yesterday, the day before, the last couple of days, maybe for you the last couple of years, but it's a really profound transitional time. The word transition keeps coming up. And this transition that a lot of us are in right now, of course, it's energetic, but it is catapulting you into something that is very unfamiliar. Okay, this isn't about healing. This isn't about trauma. This isn't about learning how you function in the world. This is about a deep, deep courage and a deep jumping off or diving into this version of you that's been waiting for you. So again, you could have been going through this transition for a couple of years. You could be holding these intentions around what you want in your life for a while now. But the energy that we're in is a real profound, powerful, and could be quite uncomfortable moment of transition. And here's what I want to share with you. Now more than ever, you cannot give up. You cannot give up. You can't stop. You have to pull up your big girl and big boy pants right now, and you have to walk through the deep mental chatter, okay? The uncomfortable emotions, the behaviors that you may have been doing for most of your life. You have to get up and walk through it. Because otherwise, you and I are going to continue to perpetuate this belief or illusion that we're changing, we're in the change. Like, well, I'm just waiting, or I'm learning about these ways in which I've been my whole life, and so it's once I learn everything, or once I feel everything, or once I understand everything, then I will be in this new space, or I'll be in this new version, or I'll be in this manifested whatever. It's not going to work that way. It's not working that way. If you don't stay focused and determined on where it is you're going and who you actually are, you're going to stay in what you've been in. So for me personally, there is this version of me that I know I am stepping into with my work. And this old version of me is so familiar, right? It's the one that says you can't do it, you're not good enough, you missed out, I don't know, you name whatever thoughts are coming into your mind, right? They're coming into my head. And it's almost debilitating, okay? And I just did a reel this morning because it has, for me personally, it has this energy of a depression, exhaustive, debilitating, freeze type of energy for me. And it's very easy for me to say, I'm just going to stay in the old, or I'm just going to rest back in the old. I'm going to give up. I can't do it. And right now, this transition that you're in and that I'm in this is not about physical action. Like, going and looking for a new job. This is about an energetic action. Literally. This is about no longer believing that you're that version of you that you've been for so long. You have to energetically embody who you're stepping into, what you're stepping into. You have to. And it's the hardest thing that you'll do. It's the hardest thing to do. It's very easy to just say, okay, I'm going to go, it's easy in one way to say, I'm going to break up with my partner. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to move. Now, those are very insane, intense shifts, but it's much easier, believe it or not, than to do this energetic shift that's being asked of you, which is to no longer believe the old version of you. It has to be embodied. You have to literally scream your way through it and open your heart through it. Like, nobody can do this for you. No course, no teacher, no book. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have. It doesn't matter how many podcasts you listen to, how many YouTube videos you listen to. None of that matters. At the end of the day, you are left by yourself with you. And you're the only one that can convince you that you don't have to stay in this old version. And by the way, there is nothing that's going to prove to you. There's nothing that's going to be proven, that's going to be shown in front of you that this is waiting for you. I have no proof of what I'm walking into. None. It's like I'm jumping off a cliff and I have no idea what I'm jumping into. It's like a free fall into God knows what. But if I don't fucking jump, I will be standing on this ledge forever. Talking about standing on the ledge, I'm getting ready, I'm going to change, I'm shifting, blah, blah, blah. But until you actually jump, and jumping means that you literally force yourself out of believing what you're believing about yourself. Force it. This is where we're at. This is the transition. Like, if we continue to play in these old stories and play them over and over again, you'll be in it. You'll perpetuate it. If you stay focused on what you want, and this has nothing to do with anybody else in your life, by the way. You're here to be of service to the rest of humanity. You're here to serve. That's why you're on the planet, is to serve. And the only way that you can truly serve is if you are authentically showing up for yourself. And no one's going to push you off this ledge, my friend. I mean, if you're lucky, you'll be pushed, but you won't appreciate the push. The push can be a death. The push can be a sickness, a disease, an illness. A push can be something really traumatic happening that pushes you off the ledge. And then when you get pushed off the ledge, you're going to bitch and moan and complain about the fact that you got pushed off the ledge and you don't like it and you don't know why this happened to you and you don't want it and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, it is what is moving you through the transition. But most of us aren't going to be pushed off the ledge. We have to push ourselves off the ledge. You have to. you have to get uncomfortable. You have to get so uncomfortable. You have to kick and scream and cry and have temper tantrums. You know, this isn't a walk in the park. It is a massive shift into a completely different way of being. So for some of you, you want, like, you know, maybe you want to become a writer. For some of you, you want to become a mom. Some of you want to, you know, start to live in a homestead or live in a cabin. Some of you want to be free from your family. Some of you want to be in a loving, unconditional relationship. Some of you want to be sharing your truths to the world, whatever it is. The only reason it's not arising in this now, right? The only reason that we are not in it right now is because there is this old version of us that's playing out this record that we can't. That's it. If you knew that it was an absolute. If I knew where I was going with my work was an absolute, I'd be getting up every day and I'd be moving towards it. Right? But I don't. I still have whatever limiting beliefs are creeping up, and they're going to get louder and louder and louder until I'm screaming at them. And I'm determined and focused like the lion, you know, towards exactly what I'm going towards. You have to stay focused. You have to stay determined. You have to stay receptive to this life. You can't just, you can do whatever you want, but if you just lay back and say, fuck it, it's too hard. It's not why you're here. You're not on this planet to say, fuck it, it's too hard. You didn't come all this way to say, fuck it, it's too hard. You came here and you went through everything you went through so that you can step into this version of you that is living life. You're in life. You came here to be in life, not suffering. We did not come here to suffer. And most of us are suffering. I was laying in bed this morning from 3 a.m. The last 4 or 5 nights I've been waking up at 3 a.m. and just I have this heavy cloud, this heavy, dense cloud of depression over me. It's a depression that I've never felt before. And it's quite scary at times, because if you've ever felt depression, it literally feels like there's some sort of monster coming in and like creating mass amounts of fear, right? And it's like you're trapped and you're exhausted and you're just like, fuck it. I'm going to let this monster just have its way. I give up, right? And we lay in bed and we ruminate with all of our thoughts and we go down these rabbit holes. And what I did this morning with these energies of depression is I humbled myself by the awareness of what was actually happening, which is this transition, right? That there is a part of me that is curled up in a ball, so scared and unsure of whether I can do what it is that I want to do next, whatever that is. And that deserves to be honored. There's a humbling in that. There's a humbling in what you're going through. There's a humbling in what we're experiencing right now on the planet. It's very, very humbling, right? We have to, sorry about that. We have to fight through it now. We have to fight through it. You have to fight through this, right? But you also want to keep an open heart. So there's a part of me that was laying in bed this morning, curled up in the darkness, and I was wrapping my arms around myself. I was wrapping my arms around Lori. I was holding her. I was giving her compassion. You know, I was not beating her up. I was not getting upset with her. I was not angry at her. I was not shameful. I was honoring what was being experienced. I was seeing it for what it was. And it was in that moment, in the moments where I wanted to kind of give in, where I had to pull myself out, and I had to get up, right? And I had to show up. The moment I walked outside, you know, the energy shifts. The energy is always shifting. This humanity is so used to things being easy. We want things to be easy. We don't want it to be difficult. We don't want it to be hard. And in fact, if it's difficult or if it's hard, we think that it's wrong or it's not, you know, we're not doing it right. And we have forgotten just how magical, intense, and miraculous this evolution is that you're going through. We can talk about it in all the different, you know, spiritual communities, and you can sit in meditation as long as you want, and you can open up all your freaking chakras, and you can talk to the angels, and you can, you know, listen to all the channeled messages you want, okay? You can do all the magical things that you want. But it is not going to get you to jump off that cliff. What gets you to jump off that cliff and to say, fuck it, right, is realizing that there is nothing outside of yourself. There's nothing outside of you that's going to save you, that's going to change you, that's going to shift you. Nothing. You're left with yourself. You have to do it on your own. You have to sit in the darkness of your own cave. You have to face your own demons. You have to face the devil in your head. And you have to say, not today. Not fucking today. You're not doing it. You're not getting me. And it's not about reaching out and trying to have somebody else do it for you or anything outside of the, you know, anything outside of you. You have to face yourself. You have to come to terms with you. You have to sit with you. You have to not fix anything. You have to not change anything. And you have to realize that it's a choice. You know, there's this idea that we get stuck in of changing and fixing ourselves. There's no fixing of you. There's nothing to fix. You're perfect as you are right now with any emotion you're feeling. It's like the more that we believe that we have to fix ourselves or that we have to heal ourselves or that we have to change, all that's doing is keeping us on the ledge, busy doing the work. And all you have to do is realize, fuck off. This isn't who I am. I'm jumping. You don't get to control me anymore. No way. And you can learn all about your coping mechanisms and all of that. That's fine. It's perfect. That's great. Still not going to help you jump off the cliff. I don't care how much information you have, how knowledgeable you are, how quickly you could shift your body into a high frequency, how clear your chakras are, and how great you are at manifesting. It's still not going to get you to jump. Manifesting, many times when you manifest in life, you're still controlling. You're still controlling your life. If I got a test for those of you that are really good at manifesting. Stop manifesting. Trust in something bigger than you that isn't manifesting, that already has you and is telling you to jump into something that you don't know, that you're not controlling, that you're not manifesting. Anything that you are controlling is the little you. It is not God. It is not whatever you want to call it, universe, whatever. Spirit, soul. It isn't. It is the little you that is still trying to control the external world so that you feel safe. And if there's nothing wrong with being in control, but if you are in control, you're not jumping. You have to let go of control to jump into what's waiting for you, period. You have to feel so out of control. You have to give everything over. You have to give everything up. Everything. And many of us, if we are lucky, we will be pummeled into that through some sort of horrific experience where we find ourselves having to give everything over to something bigger than us because we're no longer in control of our lives. Hallelujah. May that happen to all of us so that we realize the power of letting go, the power of handing it over to something bigger than the little you that has been in charge. The little you wants to figure things out. The little you wants to change things. The little you wants to get out of what you're in. The little you wants to make sure that the external world looks the way it is. The little you, it's the part of you that needs to be in control in order to feel safe. It's a very familiar, very normal way of being on this planet. Pay attention to how often you're trying to control. Right? Pay attention to how often you're trying to control. And the moment that you realize that you're controlling, can you give it up? It's a very different feeling. It's a very different feeling when you are no longer in control of your life. That's when the magic happens. That's when God steps in and says, thank you for finally handing it over. And again, this God I'm speaking of can be any label and any experience. It can be awareness, consciousness, spirit. I don't care. It is something that is bigger than the little you. And sometimes we have to be rattled into this deep, deep trust through depression, through anxiety, through stress, right? Through uncomfortableness. Like, let go. Let go. Stop trying to create a sense of control in your life. There's always action, right? So there is this idea of when you hand something over to something bigger than you and you're not in control, that you're not taking action. There's always action. There was action this morning for me. I had to choose whether I was going to hand over, my thoughts to these depressive energies, or if I was going to get up and get out of bed and get going, right? I took action. There is action in me, creating something new in my business. Okay, so I'm taking action, I'm doing. But as I am taking action and as I am doing, I have let go of being in charge, as if I know where I'm going, as if I'm the one that's going to dictate what's going to happen next. There's this energy of I'm not in control. There is something bigger than me, okay, that is me, that is guiding me now. And every moment of my day, I have to remember that. Otherwise, I will find myself in a state of suffering because life is not doing it the way I want life to do it. Life, if you, the way that you move into a flow state, so in flow, there's always action, right? There's always movement. But in a flow state, you realize that life is happening and you're just in it. And it's going to be, when you're in a flow state, it's not peaceful all the time. It's up and down. It's in and out. It's bumping your head on rocks and trees and boulders. It's finding yourself going through rapids, right? It's finding yourself in moments of calm on the water. But you're not controlling it. So you're intending perhaps like, okay, I'm gonna try to weave myself around here, and then I'm gonna try to maneuver myself around that boulder. You're not just sitting back saying, fuck it. But you know that as you're weaving your way through the flow, through the river, that the river is taking you. Life is taking you. Life is showing you. Life is always showing you. Always. If something happens and you said, why did this happen to me? This shouldn't have happened. Yes, it should have. Why? Because it happened to you. Of course it should have happened. Because it happened. Right? It's like we curse out what's happening in our lives. And that's like cursing out a river. It's like getting upset with the way the river's going. You know, this is next level what we're stepping into. What you're stepping into. It's like it's this balancing act right now, okay, of screaming like I'm doing this, right? Which is like the jumping into the boat of flow. You're jumping in this canoe, this boat. Fuck it, I'm going in. I'm not standing on the shore anymore, right? Twiddling my thumbs, wondering, whatever. You're jumping in that canoe. Fuck it, I'm going in, right? You jump in your canoe, and then you have the courage to let that canoe take you. Right? You have the courage. Jump in that canoe. And then once you get in your canoe, okay, so life is gifting you. You're receptive to life. Once you jump in your canoe, you say, okay, take me, life, let's go. Life's going to start showing you. Keep your heart open. It's like this, your heart's opening right now. Your heart is breaking open. It's trying to. It breaks open by seeing life, by recognizing life, by recognizing the beauty, by recognizing the gift you are to people, by recognizing the impact that you have on humanity. You know, that every moment that you encounter somebody else, you have a moment of impact with that person, and vice versa. Receptivity is being open to being received by that person, and for that person to receive you. That's flow. That's opening to life. That's your heart breaking open. That's courage, right? That is jumping in the freaking canoe and saying, life, take me. Take me. So no matter what you're going through, okay, no matter what you're experiencing, it doesn't matter. This is transitional time for you. This is transitional time for me. This is transitional time for the planet. And you may be being literally, this new version of you is begging you, please stay focused on me. Stay focused on me. Right? So stay focused on yourself. Hand your life over to something bigger than you. I'm telling you, the more you try to stay in control, the more you'll stay in suffering. Stop trying to figure it all out. Stop changing or fixing yourself. Be receptive. Be receptive to life. Pull up your big girl, big boy pants. Say, get the fuck out of my way. Get out of my way. And just like the lion, stay focused. Stay focused. Don't let anyone, anything, any experience, any thought, don't let it pull you from where you're going. Let life, let this essence of God that is so much bigger than you, that it has you right now. It wants to take you where you know you want to go. It wants to take you there. We've been doing it all wrong. We've been standing on the side of the river, yelling at the river, feeling confident and secure because we have control over how the river's going and we know what it's going to do. It's like, you don't know shit. Jump in the fucking boat and then go. Then tell me how much you know. We don't know anything. And we have to continue to not know anything. You know nothing so that you can know everything. And it takes a huge amount of courage. A huge amount of courage to do this in a way that most of us haven't done it. So every morning when you wake up, look at your canoe. Jump in your freaking canoe and move towards where you're going. Move towards the version of you that you know you're stepping into, because that is how you're going to serve humanity. That is how the world is going to change. The world isn't going to change by you standing on the side of a river screaming and yelling about how corrupt the world is. Don't give a shit. Jump in your boat and let life gift you. Let life show you. Once you jump in a boat, and once you start going down the river and you're not in control anymore, guess what happens? Your heart starts to open because you realize that you need other people. You realize that you can't do this alone. You realize that you have to trust. You realize that you have to receive from other people. Your heart starts to open. And that is unification. That is unity. Standing on the side of a river, yelling about how we're being poisoned and how there's corruption and how there's this and how there's that. That's safe. That's being safe. Jump in a canoe. Jump in your canoe and let life start taking you. And all these other things that we get distracted by don't matter. Because you realize that what really matters is being taken away by life and being shown that the only way through this life is by opening your heart, receiving from others and letting others receive from you. And anything other than that is a protection and a defense mechanism. It just is. And right now, there will be more distractions than ever to keep you on the side of the river. Don't do it. Jump in. Jump in your damn canoe. It's the most courageous thing you'll do. All right, you guys. I got my ass out of bed, out of my dark cave of depression this morning to go to yoga. See the mess, don't preach the mess. I love that. And jump every day. Ask for help. Ask for help. Share how you're truly feeling with people. And I promise you, if you hand it over to something bigger than yourself, you hand it over to God or whatever you want to call it, you hand it freaking over. You'll be surprised. And stop saying, why did this happen to me? Instead, let yourself break down, drop to your knees, and say, show me. Show me. Not why did this happen. Show me. I love you guys. I'll save this. Stay open and receptive. Jump in your canoe. Mwah.